Top of the day to you on this inspirational journey. Glad to see you as you go to and fro on this earth. I hope all is well. Blessings and peace into you. And I am that reporter reporting to you the way, the truth, and life. As we journey, we discovered that we need spiritual pieces, not only um, fleshly pieces. And one of our pieces that we talked about, this is a part two of the helmet of salvation. Our helmet is represents like a spiritual discipline or a spiritual mindset. These are our spiritual tools that we are talking about. The helmet of salvation protects our head, which is our mindset, our identity, the sense of direction, of meaning like where we want to go in life, who are we, this protecting our truth, the mind. We protects our mind with truth of who we are and what God has done for us. So it kind of guards us, like our thoughts, with the reality that we are loved, we are chosen, we're forgiven, we are held by God. Um, the reason why we need this protection, this helmet of salvation, is because we are in a spiritual realm. And so there are different spirits that can play with our own, that can play on our top. So with the helmet of salvation, you have to be solid. You have to stand on all 10, which hangs on two. So you got to be solid about what you believe, who you are as a person. That way, no one can mess with your minting. So if you're solid there, with what you believe, who you are, your identity, and your sense of direction, and once that grounded, then you can go on to look on how to equip yourself with the other tools that was left for us to protect us in the spiritual realm. So many of us are called, but only few are chosen. Our ancestor, our Father, who chose us all, who created us all. But do we choose Him as our Father, as our Creator of heaven and earth? Because our flesh is weak. We was designed with two different aspects, two different natures. We have a spiritual nature and a fleshy nature, which was designed and made from the earth. And this is what we call our earth suit, our body, our flesh. So once we, equip that flesh with the right type of spirit, it either is a godly spirit or a evil spirit, a spirit that's not of God. So we get the right to choose the flesh way or the spirit way. It's up to us. So why a helmet? In most games that you see, they always have, in most battles, you have a helmet. It protects your face. And with this helmet, if we're in most battles, we face things like we face ourselves, we face our enemies, and we face our destiny. So with this helmet, um, it brings up like our fears, and this is how our mindset is played upon. This is why we need the helmet, our protection. We got to be solid. We got to tell ourselves over and over who we are, our identity, our sense of direction, in our goal. So it would play on our fear. It would play on our doubt. That's what spirits or evil spirits do. So this is the reason why you have to be solid. It would play up on our shame. It would play up, it would have us confused. And all of this start in our mind. So the biggest battle that we have is our mindset, is our mind. That's where the battle begins. If we believe solid, we stand on 10 on something, no, we can be unmovable, unshakable. No one can tell us no difference on what we know is true, what we believe. And that's what you want to have your mindset. That's why we call that the spiritual realm, the helmet of salvation. We don't have to believe everything, every thought that enters our head. We could reject, the things or the lies that tells us that we're not enough, or, why us, stuff like that, that would keep us from going forth to making it to our destination. So we want to anchor ourselves with the truth of God. That is with, you, me, it's for all of us. It's not about pretending everything is fine. It's about protecting our inner world, our inner peace, so we can live with clarity and confidence. And that's what we call being solid. Knowing cannot move or shake you on what you believe. Some people actually give their life for what they believe, so it's on that particular level. So how to put on the helmet in real life. So speak the truth to yourself when negative thoughts hit. Respond with something grounded and steady, like, I'm not alone. I am loved. Our Father's with me. Even when I don't even feel it, get thee behind me. I'm more than a conqueror. Greater is he that's within me than he that's in this world. So those are words, those are battle words that you could speak, swords that you could speak, in order to knock down that spiritual, that evil spirit that's speaking to you, to stop you, to tell your mind different from what you desire to believe. All right. So that's how that goes. So remember your identity. Your worth isn't based on performance, mistakes, or other people's opinion. The helmet protects the truth. So slow down your thoughts. Have a calm mind. It's easier to protect. Breathing. Do you some breathing exercise. You want to pray. Prayer. Your prayer is what you speak, into existence, what you pray to God, something what you believe. Don't just be praying a prayer and your words are empty. So if you feel how you feel about God and you giving him praise, say what he is to you, not just words that you've heard other people say. Make sure those words are true. A calm mind is easier to protect, so we have to work on that. Even a moment of silence will help you reset yourself. Because sometimes, like when someone come up to you and they just like bringing your pressure up or hitting that last nerve, that's when you try to breathe and reset yourself. That way you can know how to speak the right words and not, let anything pop off or fly out. Because sometimes it might, those arrows may not be guarded in the right way, and it will cause more damage to you than them. So this is why it matters for our spiritual journey. It's about learning to live from a place of security instead of fear. The helmet protects our mind so we can actually recognize the truth of, when we hear it. Because sometimes, the truth or the a lie has truth in it. So it would sound like the truth, but it's not. And a lot of us have been deceived. Our ancestors have been deceived many times. So we want to learn how to be aware. We call that the spirit of discernment, learning how to understand the difference. The helmet says, don't forget it when our minds get attacked. You're not into temptation. So with that helmet, it helps our spirit. Our spirit brings to our remembrance of what we should not forget when that time attack. Now, it takes time. It does not come easy. It takes time because majority of the time, by the time I think about it, it's been like 2 days when I finally come over with the right words to say at the right time, but the moment has passed. So we got to work on that. That way, when we are in that battle, we'll know how to, stand still and speak the word in order for the help us along our way. So the helmet helps stops the damage, because when we damage or whatever, a wounded person will always holler out. Helmet keeps our thinking sharp so we can use the word or the sword with confidence. The word is the sword, so we can use it with confidence when we stand still and we speak what we know is truth. When we speak what we know is fact. The helmet of salvation is our mind is steady. Is when our identity is secure, when our decisions is clearer than ever. That means we're solid. We're standing on solid ground. Nothing can shake these things that we have, but we got to know in our mind already, because if a question or something come, that's planting doubt in our mind. So then right there, boom, our ground is not solid. If it, put that little seed in there, and next thing you know, you're not as stable as you thought. We not as stable as we thought. So our identity is secured with our decision that we made is very clear. Our emotions are calmer. So everybody can come and fluster, fluff our feathers. They would not, we still could be calm, even though they try to send that temptation or send words, just to get us routed up. That means if we can overcome those things, that's growth. So this is something that we need to work on, is about our helmet. So we need to take time and meditate on it and look ourselves, face ourselves to see how far we are and what we need to work on. Our spiritual life becomes more grounded for us. So no matter what comes at us, we know who we are, and who I am and who God is. So that is our main thing about our helmet of salvation that we need to conquer in our lives. So make sure that you like and subscribe. Last time I think I was like talking so fast and nervous, I was saying the wrong thing. So make sure you like and subscribe. If not, more than anything, it's so important is to make sure that you take this word and you go back over it, meditate on it day and night. Meditating meaning to read over it and read over it to the understanding would be clear in your mind and your heart. That it would be, rooted within you, that, that word or nothing that people say could take that out of you. For a fact, this is what you believe and who you are. Well, blessings and peace into you. I am that reporter, reporting to you the way, the truth, and life. And I see you back again every Monday. And every once in a while, the Lord always shoot me a word to give you a little daily quote. So always stay tuned to that tune. So see ya. Blessings and peace and love into you. Good day.